Hey boys and girls, we are on lesson 8-6 and we are going to be multiplying two fractions in order to find the area of a rectangle. Here's our learning goal. You can read it with me. I can find the area of a rectangle with fractional sides. You will need your workbook, a pencil, multiplication chart, some scratch paper. All of those math supplies are great to have on hand when we are starting our math lesson. Here's our solve and share for 8-6. We're on page 353, so make sure your workbook is out and open to that page, ready to give it a try. A rectangular poster is 1/4 yard wide and 3/4 yards tall. What is its area? Solve this problem any way you choose. So just as a little reminder, our area formula, area equals length times width. So you're going to need to be looking at how wide it is and how tall it is in order to find the area. Go ahead and give it a try, enter your answer below, and then we'll check it all together. Okay, so we could draw a picture, or we could just set up our multiplication to figure out what the area would be. So if I was gonna draw a picture here, I would have to go 4 down. Oop, that's 5. So if I could go 4 down, I'm just using this end of it because I've got this bar here. And then 4 across, 4 down. And so here is my rectangular poster. Just the area that we need in order to shade in our 1/4 and our 3/4, and look at that overlapping. So what I'm gonna do here is shade in 1 out of the 4 going down. So you can see that's one out of these 4 columns. And then I'm gonna do the same thing the other direction, 3/4 yard tall. So I'm gonna go opposite 1, 2, 3. And so my overlap here is what I want to pay attention to. So you'll notice I'm just gonna like outline it a little heavier here. This is the rectangular poster that we're trying to find. And obviously these are not yards here. Like that's not a yard, it's scaled down quite a bit. But you can see 1, 2, 3, and then if I were to count all of the squares, I'd have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if I just do the multiplication over here, 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 4 is 16. So 3/16 yard is our final answer. This is the picture model. That's just when we multiply straight across. Alrighty, let's go ahead and look at our essential question today and our virtual learning bridge. Our essential question is, how can you find the area of a rectangle with fractional side lengths? Well, we've just talked about how area is length times width. So we would have to multiply those two fractional amounts to get our area. Jenny has a rectangular garden. What is the area of her garden? The area of a rectangle is found by multiplying the length by the width. So we need to take our 5/4, which you'll notice that's 1 and 1/4, but they already have it as an improper fraction, which is good for multiplying straight across, times our 2/3. One thing that we've started to talk about in group that I want to go ahead and take a little bit of time. If I were to multiply straight across right now, 5 times 2 is 10, 4 times 3 is 12, and I get 10/12. However, 10/12 is even on the top and on the bottom, so I can reduce that by 2 or simplify it down by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5, 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 5/6 is our final answer here. However, I can do a little shorthand cross reducing so that I don't have to simplify at the end most of the time. So I can look diagonally, 5 and 3, and think, okay, are there any numbers that go into 5 and 3? You know, anything 3 or smaller. So will 3 go into 5? No. Will 2 go into 5? No. Will 1 go into 5? No. So you can't reduce this way. But now I can look the other direction, my 4 and my 2. So is there a number that will go into 2 and 4? Well, 2 goes into 2 and 2 goes into 4. So we can do 2 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now when I multiply across, I'm going to multiply by those simplified numbers. And this only works diagonally. So I can do 5 times 1 to get 5 on top, 2 times 3 to get 6 on bottom. So 5, 6, that's that reduced answer that I got. You can still do it this way and simplify at the end, but 4 and 2 are just a little bit smaller numbers than 10 and 12 to simplify. Both of them, not too hard, but can really help when our numbers start to get a lot larger. Okay, let's look at the drawing that they have down below and the ways they are going to have us solve this. Whew. So they have their 1/4 times 1/3 is 1/12 because 12 rectangles, each 1/4 wide and 1/3 high, fit in a unit square. So they just split it up. Here's what they did. Fourths, you see that 4? They went split, split, split into fourths. And you see this 3? They went split, split, and they've got thirds right there. So then they would have went ahead and shaded it in 5/4. And what you might notice is they had to add on an extra here because 5/4 is an improper fraction. And then they have the 2 out of the 3 shaded here. So then they did their 5 times 2 is 10, 4 times 3 is 12, and they got 10, 12 square yard. If we were to simplify that down, we'd have 5/6 to simplify it. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our guided practice. Let's go ahead and find the area of a rectangle with side lengths of 2/3 foot and 1/2 foot. So we're going to take our 2/3 times 1/2. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now, can I simplify that? Yes, I can. 2 is divisible by 2, and then 6 is divisible by 2. So if I do 2 divided by 2, I get 1. 6 divided by 2, I get 3. So my final answer reduced down would be 1/3. I want you to find the area of number 4. So it says find the area of a square with side lengths of 5/4 inches. So what, if we know one side of a square is 5/4, what is our other side going to be? If our height is 5/4, or our length is 5/4, what will our width be? 5/4, hopefully is what you picked. So we need to do our 5/4 times 5/4. And since they're both improper fractions, you probably have to simplify it or switch it over to a mixed number at the end. Okay, so go ahead and give that number a try, and we'll talk about some more in group.